I met Miss Ortiz in 2012. I was knocking on doors on Spring Street. She opens the door, but it was super, remember back in the day, everyone used to have like 10 locks on their door? Like, remember you had 10 locks on your door 3 years ago? So she took her some time to open her door. She comes out, and we're having this conversation, and as she's speaking, her son was peeking through the window. So I'm like, is he okay? And she said, oh, he never sees me come outside and talk to my neighbors. I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then he comes out, and she was telling me all about him, and she said, sometimes we sleep on the floor because of the gunshots, and then she said he has asthma because of the gun smoke in the community, and then she says he has stomach ulcers and has to use the bathroom on himself sometime in school because he was just terrified and scared all the time. But then she said, and he's still on honor roll. And that story stuck with me because that's what Stockton is. Stockton is a city of challenges, but our challenges are second to our resilience, that we have kids and neighbors and community members and activists and people who've been doing this work for so many years, who have faced the challenges head on, and despite all the reasons why people could quit and say we can't and we won't, they still get up, put on their clothes, and go to a rally and say together we can reinvent Stockton. And that's why I stand before you today humbly asking you for your support for me to run for mayor, because I understand we've made great gains in the past 3 years, but we have so much more work to do. That we've got some successes, got some wins under our belt, learned some lessons, but South Stockton is not the only part of the city that's struggling. North Stockton, East Stockton, West Stockton, and South Stockton all need leadership. North Stockton, West Stockton, East Stockton, and South Stockton all need a strategy and a vision for how we move this community forward. I'm confident that together we can figure out how do we work with our budget to provide officers enough to stay, but not too much so we don't go bankrupt again. Together, we can work with the 5 hot zone areas identified in our Marshall Plan, areas who have high crime. But guess what they also have? High unemployment. Guess what they also have? High dropout rates. Guess what they also have? High poverty. Guess what they also have? Low educational attainment, which means there's ripe for opportunity to do things besides just lock people up, right? Like cops definitely are part of a solution, but cops can't be social worker, pastors, teachers, economic development. They can't do that, and we need to work with the police department to improve these communities. Together, we can find all the young people who qualify for Head Start in preschool who aren't enrolled and get them enrolled, because research tells us that the key to winning poverty and the achievement gap is education, but it's also high quality early education. And today, right now, there's hundreds of slots of kids who qualify for pre-K that aren't being filled. Right now in City Hall, we don't have a staff person assigned to work with the homeless or work with the county to do homeless work. The only staff we have assigned to homeless are police. And in my opinion, homelessness is not a crime. If anything, poverty should be a crime. So we need to assign a staff person to work with the county and coordinating all the service providers to get people opportunities who are homeless. Number 2, we could change our city zoning codes to allow for tiny houses and micro apartments, not as a and not as a permanent solution, but as one of many solutions to get the ball moving. And number 3, we can work with the county and with the state with Prop 63 funding to really develop a housing first solution in Stockton. But don't clap, because it's expensive. It's gonna cost a lot of money, but research tells us that's the way. If you want to end homelessness, guess what you have to do? So I'm really running today because I'm still the crazy young man that thinks together we can truly reinvent Stockton. I really do believe that.